You know what nobody warns all of us married couples about? The emotional hangover that hits after the holidays, after all the noise, all the travel, all the family dynamics that you have to manage, the cooking, the managing, the smiling, even when you're exhausted to no end. And then suddenly you look up and it's over. The house is quiet, the calendar is empty, and you look at your spouse and you think, why is it that I feel so disconnected from you right now? If that's you, please know that you're not alone and you didn't do anything wrong. Feeling out of sync after the holidays is one of the most normal experiences that married couples experience. So today, I want to show you how to feel like a team again, how to put all the noise behind you, and how to reconnect with your love again in a way that feels simple, gentle, and actually doable. Why do couples drift after the holidays? Let me say something out loud. The holidays, they will stretch you. You've poured into your families, into your schedules, your family traditions, your kids, your in laws, and all of the responsibilities. And this often happens at the cost of pouring into each other. So when the new year comes, right, when January finally hits, or simply once the holiday chaos calms down, your nervous system, your bodies, they're finally able to exhale, and you realize that you've been running on fumes. And here's the key, this connection at this time of the year, it's not a sign that you've been inactive or that you've been doing something wrong. It's simply a sign that you've been working really, really hard, just not working on your relationship. If you've ever traveled overseas, this will ring a bell. It's the emotional version of jet lag. You're exhausted, you're likely emotionally completely overstimulated, and you've had zero time alone as a couple. So it's really not a marriage issue, it's a simple capacity issue instead. Before we jump into how you two can get to reconnecting, we need to talk about the stuff that gets in the way. Number one, it's the residual resentment. There may have been little moments that felt unfair during the last 2 weeks, or anytime during the month of December, really. One of you may be feeling like they've been doing more than the other. One of you might be feeling unseen or unsupported as a result. Please know these do not go away by ignoring them. That's why we're talking about this and focusing on that in the first place. Number two, it's y'all's different recovery speeds. One of you is ready to reconnect immediately. The other one is still decompressing, recovering at their own pace, needing some more time still. That mismatch alone often creates tension until you actually put a name to it and you address it as such. Number three, and we've all been guilty of this at one point or another, we rush back into work. We get on with school, we get on with the routines without ever pausing to reset as a couple. We kind of ignore it all, and that's exactly what keeps you from feeling like a team again. Here's my reset for you, your roadmap back to each other, so to speak. Simple, gentle, and yet still effective. Number one, you take your time to decompress individually. Connection is almost impossible when you're both emotionally and or physically completely maxed out. So before you come together, give each other an hour or a day to just breathe. Go for a walk alone, take a nap alone, have some coffee or tea alone, spend some time on the couch alone reading your favorite book at the moment. Whatever resets your nervous system, do that. Here's what you might want to say out loud to one another. Hey, let's each take a little bit of space today or tonight so that we can come back to each other better later. This isn't distance, it's conscious preparation. Please remember that. And then do a debrief together, but do it the right way. Not what your mother said really bothered me, or you didn't help enough again when your family was around. Those are different kinds of conversations. I talk about that in a different video. That is not what I'm talking about right now. Do these three questions instead. What is it that worked for us this year? What is it that drained us completely? And where did we get out of sync with one another? Now, while you're talking about this, I want you to stay curious, not go into defensiveness if you can help it. That's what's going to help create understanding instead of defensiveness. Number 3, rebuild your rhythm as a team. Here's how you do that. You're going to pick 1 or 2 small rituals to restart your guys' connection. Making coffee maybe, and then you have it together again. Maybe you do a quick walk after dinner one night. Maybe you do a no phones hour one night this week. Maybe you just sit on the couch and read and or just breathe together for a half an hour. It's just going to be some small consistent moments that you put in on purpose. They will do you so much good after all that noise. Now, here are the 3 conversations. This is the gold that will bring you two together again. Do not be fooled by their simplicity. They can be powerful as all get out. Question number 1, what did we do well? If you've never asked this, we ask this question because it builds confidence and it reinforces the team aspect of it all. Question number 2, what do we want to do differently next year? My humble opinion, this one is the most important one of them all because it allows you two to reflect back while you can still clearly remember everything to make sure that you don't keep making the same mistake, driving each other crazy over and over and over next year, the year after that. Not only does it build partnership, it also minimizes any possible resentment. Last but not least, question number 3, what do we need right now to feel close again? This this is what builds emotional safety. You're going to ask, you're going to listen, and then you adjust what needs adjusting. Connection follows clarity, and communication is what creates the clarity in the first place. That's why we start there. If you need some ideas, if you're at a loss for words, here are a few tiny, doable ways to feel like a team again. Ready? Shared bedtime for a few days. If it's been a few days or even a few weeks, you consciously agree to go to bed at the same time. When you are making your returns or doing your walk around the block after dinner, hold hands. Maybe you touch their back as you pass your spouse in the kitchen. Maybe you look up from your phone and get up and actually say hello when they walk into the house next time. Maybe you revisit your preferences and get back to saying something kind to each other at least once a day. Maybe you clean some mess that all your guests made downstairs and you do it together. Maybe you have a meal with nobody else and no outside noise. Nothing complicated, really. Just show up and be present. If you haven't heard me say that, just make it match. Make it obvious that this person, in fact, is still someone that you deeply and truly care about. So, if the holidays left you feeling a little disconnected, please hear me when I say this. You're human, you're tired, and you're normal. And more importantly, perhaps you two can absolutely feel like a team again. And it does not require a retreat, a complete reset weekend, or a 2-week trip to Jamaica. Although, if that's what sounds great and you can pull it off, do that too. Just let me know that's what you did. But I'm not over here asking for a lot of effort, just a little attention, a little intention, a little gentleness, and possibly a tiny bit of structure. Now, if you find that you're having a heck of a time finding a time that works well for having those conversations between you and your spouse, and you've noticed that there are definitely good times and terrible, no good, very bad times to try to talk to your wife or your husband, if you need to know what those are because you're struggling with communication as a whole, here's a video where I spill all the beans. Heaven knows that we could all use a little help in the department from time to time. Go watch that now. Tell your spouse about it later and enjoy it. Thank you for liking and sharing this video, and I will see you in the next one.